morning, everybody, and welcome back to Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We've got an awesome show lined up for you. We're going to be giving out another mystery clue. You all have a chance to win $2,000 in cash if you gather all the clues. Have you watched all the episodes of Marketplace Monday? Every episode has a clue buried in that show. And at the end of our Road to Convention coming up here in October, if you gather up all the clues and you guess the word or the phrase, you could win $2,000 in cash. I had a few people actually ask last week on the text feature, which is right below this video. You can use that for questions for all of our guests, or if you have questions for me. A few people asked, what's the email to send in that guess? That's info@ccua.org. So once we do all the clues and you want to guess for your chance at $2,000, it's info, I-N-F-O, @ccua.org. I mentioned that chat box that's right below the video you're watching now. Use that right now. And I'm looking for the 10th credit union person to type, show me the money. I think you can handle that. Also, tell us who you are and what credit union you're with. 10th person to type in, show me the money. You get a $100 Visa gift card for checking out the show today. We'll be giving out that mystery clue, and I've got a few more gift cards to give out on the show. But I want to welcome our first guest, Courtney. She's in our spotlight waiting room. Courtney, how are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. Courtney's with a company called DocuPrep. Now, you're in Boise, Idaho. First of all, how's life in Boise today?
So far, so good. It's a day-by-day thing, but kids are getting back in schools, and the weather's getting a little bit better. The smoke is clearing, and it's been good.
Good. Now, you say your kids are going back to school, so your kids are going back to school full-time, and mom gets some time to herself?
Yes, thank goodness.
You said that very calmly. You're like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I have 5 kids under the age of 8.
Oh my God, you're so happy they're going back to school.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah.
We're talking to Courtney Harward. She's with DocuPrep. She's the director of sales and business development. All the folks watching the show right now, Courtney, tell me about DocuPrep. What does your company do, and why would these credit union decision makers want to get a hold of you specifically?
So DocuPrep has been around it's about 34 years now. We've always been in the doc prep industry where we generate residential mortgage documents, compliance. We run all of that. We also have developed a lending tool that allows these credit unions and to kind of update their technology in a way that they don't have to overspend for a full platform. It provides them a online borrower application to closing documents without going back and forth into 3 or 4 different systems.
So it's like one-stop shopping. You make it easy for me so we don't have to do 15 different steps when we're closing business.
Exactly. Yep. So you'll get your application, your documents. You can order all your third-party services and credit underwriting all within one system. So it just simplifies it.
I love that. Talking to Courtney Harward, she's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. And I want to learn a little bit more about this lending platform you just talked about, what's called Lending Blocks. Tell me what Lending Blocks is.
So Lending Blocks is built off of, and it kind of says it in the name. So what we've done is we've created a way that the lenders can go into the system and just use what they need. So many systems have the bells and whistles and so many options that you don't need necessarily. So what we've done is we have simplified it. So coming from a doc prep background, we know exactly what we need to order documents. When you look at different loan origination systems or different platforms that you may be using, they ask you for fields over and over again. And, you could go into a field and say, okay, where do I enter in the loan estimate date? And it could be in 5 different options. And we've simplified it where it's one place. And the other thing that we've done is we have allowed it so that the system looks like a lot of your forms. So if you are going into your fee sections, you can pull an LE or a CD and it looks just like the LE or CD form that it's going to generate. Because there was always so much confusion back and forth between a system and documents, and we could see that frustration on our side, we built a system that just simplifies that part.
That's great. Simplification is what everybody likes, especially when it comes to forms and documents, right?
Yes, and compliance, yeah.
Right. Talking to Courtney Harwood, she's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. Tell me how people can get a hold of you, because I want to make sure if you have a website, people are watching this, I want them to be able to go on the website and kind of understand more about all the services. But is it easy for us to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So www.docuprep.com. You can always, I had a fly, I'm sorry. You can always, like going right in my eyeball, you can always just reach out to me directly. And my number is 801-694-3628. Or my email address is kharward, HARWARD, @docuprep.com.
Talking with Courtney Harwood. She's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. And we're talking with her this morning about simplification of all of these documents and various things like that, talking about lending blocks. Talk about the pricing of lending blocks and how that works for the credit union folks watching.
Absolutely. So one thing that when we were thinking about the pricing on this system, a lot of these credit unions and banks that are trying to get into this lending, updating their lending technology in general, it's a lot of money to out of pocket, right? So you're looking at systems and it's thousands and thousands of dollars each month, and they may pull 5 loans, 10 loans, 100 loans, 2,000 loans. We don't care on our end, right? And it's priced on a per closed loan basis. So the nice thing is that you can pass that fee on to the borrower. You can also, you're not coming out of pocket with anything unless that loan is closing. So it makes it really easy for the credit union to justify that cost rather than paying for a system that they may only use it, X amount of times, and they're still paying as if they were doing 100 loans a month.
Great. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah. We're talking with Courtney. She's with DocuPrep, and she's giving us some specifics about lending blocks, some of the pricing. Can you go into a little bit more detail of the benefits of lending blocks for our credit union folks watching this morning?
Absolutely. So with lending blocks, there are so many options that you can do. I'm going to kind of read off maybe a list of things that are kind of built into the system that can help. There's those keywords that kind of trigger that if you're listening and you hear something, you're like, oh, I need that. So there's a lot of different things. Of course, we do all of your state-specific documents. There's also a point of sale that's built into the system. You have all your HMDA reporting. You have your database of record. You have your electronic signatures. So if you need any documents e-signed, automatically sent to the borrower, even on your closing side, you can do a hybrid e-sign. Or we are also partnered with various e-closing platforms where you can do a full e-close directly inside of our system as well. You also have all of your ARMs and your HELOCs and your consumer documents, your chattel lending, and then you have all your reports. So there's a lot of different things that we've built into there that you can look at and say, you know what, I need to pull credit, and I need to pull underwriting, and I need to pull documents, and I like the point of sale. And you can use those features and you can generate your documents.
Great. Keep it simple, right?
Yes.
We're talking with Courtney Harwood. She's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. DocuPrep.com. That's pretty easy. DocuPrep.com. If you're watching, and anything that Courtney just said, if it triggered something and you're like, wait a minute, we need this. There's just so many documents we're doing. Or you tell me if someone's not using your system, how are they doing it now? Are there multiple vendors? I mean, you simplify it with one-stop shopping. So if people aren't using DocuPrep now, how are they doing it? Are they using other companies, or are they doing it themselves?
Yeah, so still to this day, we see people that are like printing off documents and like writing stuff in. You also see a lot of, they're using like 3 or 4 different systems and trying to pull it all together. A lot of them, they don't have like a borrower online application. So our borrower online application talks to our system. And then if you pull the services inside of the system, it also auto-generates that information, such as like the credit scores, the liabilities back into our system. So it's going to eliminate a lot of the duplicate data entry that people are having to do. A lot of times you'll see a credit union, they're taking a physical application, then they have to take that application, they have to enter it into their system, manually rekeying in all that data. And then they have to go in and out of different systems and order flood or 4506T or credit, and then rekey in that data again into their system. And so what we've done is we've just pulled all that together so that we're eliminating your duplicate data entry. We're allowing you to update your technology. We're allowing you to have that borrower portal that they can upload documents, driver's license, tax forms, e-sign their documents, and it also talks to the LendingBlocks platform, so it eliminates all your duplicate typing.
That sounds like it takes a ton of hassle out of what sounds like in the past has just been a hassle. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot of work. You guys got together and said, okay, how do we make this simple? How do we get a hold of credit unions? How do we tell them that, this is the service we provided? And that's exactly why we do this Marketplace Monday. So, it's our responsibility at the Cooperative Credit Union Association to continue to make sure that people like Courtney with DocuPrep are in front of all of you folks watching. So make sure you reach out to Courtney. If anything she just said makes sense, or you're like, oh God, I'm so tired of doing it that way, we need to upgrade. That's what DocuPrep is for. DocuPrep.com is where you find all the details. Talking with Courtney, she's the Director of Sales and Business Development. Anything specific to credit unions that you think really sticks out, like the number one thing that people say to you and go, I've got to have that because you provide that?
What's funny is we have quite a few credit unions using the platform today. And when I demo it for them, the biggest question I get asked is, what am I missing? And I'm like, this is it. Because when you look at other systems and you compare it to the LendingBlocks platform, it's clean, it's simple, it brings your services into one place, and then it provides all of your documents. So a lot of credit unions have a hard time with HELOC documents, with chattel lending, consumer documents, even the standard residential first and second mortgages. And DocuPrep, with that doc background that we've always had and love, is we also maintain and monitor all of your documents in there. So not only is it the system, but it's also working with you on your documents and making sure that they fit your credit union. I always, people will always ask me, what do other people do? And I can honestly tell you that everyone lends differently because you all want that certain niche to compete against each other, which is great on our end. And so we customize it with you. We work with your documents. We have a in-house counsel that maintains and monitors all of the documents. And if you have questions on any of your compliance, you're always welcome to reach out to them and talk to them. So that's just, between the system, between the documents and the services built in, that's the biggest question I get asked is, what am I missing? And it's not. We've just been in the industry long enough to know that this is what we need and we don't need anything more.
This makes total sense to me if I worked at a credit union. I want everything focused in one place. I don't want to have to do 500 things for one transaction. So talking to Courtney Harwood, I want to thank you for coming on the show. She's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. Once again, it's DocuPrep.com, DocuPrep.com. Go take a look at all the various things they have. And I love that question. What am I missing? Well, you're missing this. That's what you're missing.
Yeah.
But really, no, thanks so much for coming on. And if people have any questions, there is a chat feature below. You can ask questions or, again, reach out and ask for Courtney. She, find her on the website at DocuPrep.com. But thanks so much for coming on. You've opened my eyes. I like to keep things simple. And if you're going to make my life simple, you're hired.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
Hey, before I let you go, I got to have you spin the prize wheel because all of our vendors and guests get to win some money on the prize wheel. And everybody that comes on the show also is going to go into a drawing for a 75-inch flat screen TV. So you might win that. You can put that on the wall right behind you.
Sweet.
Right? Not bad. All right. So we got $50 gift cards, $25 gift cards, and Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. Are you ready, Courtney?
I am ready. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Although I don't know if I trust your spinning.
Come on now. Ooh, Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Perfect.
That's not bad. That'll here's the thing. You're going to have some free coffee, and maybe if you win that flat screen TV, there you go. You can drink your coffee in front of your new TV.
I'm in.
Well, thanks again. It's Courtney Harwood. She's the Director of Sales and Business Development for DocuPrep. DocuPrep.com is where you find all the information. We really appreciate you coming on Marketplace Monday, Courtney. Have a great day, and good luck with the 5 kids going back to school.
Thank you. I'm going to need it.
It sounds like it. Thanks so much for coming on. And for the rest of you watching, we're going to be giving away some more of those Visa gift cards coming up on the show, and I'll be dropping that clue for the mystery clue game for your chance to win $2,000 in cash. We'll be back right after this on Marketplace Monday.
Octant Business Services, LLC is a business lending CUSO that has been working with credit unions since 2005. Octant provides credit unions an array of commercial lending services. These include underwriting, loan servicing and credit administration, as well as program implementation support and training. With our clients focused on borrower-facing activities and Octant focused on underwriting and credit administration, the result is a cost-effective, regulatory compliant, and successful commercial lending program. This collaborative model has proven successful over the last 15 years, as evidenced by Octant surpassing the $1 billion threshold in loans underwritten in 2019. More recently, Octant helped its clients process more than 1,200 PPP loans, bringing over $25 million in needed capital to local small businesses. If your credit union would like to explore the possibility of beginning a business lending program or would benefit from outsourcing some of its commercial lending work, please contact us at info@octant.us. Thank you, and enjoy the CCUA's first virtual marketplace experience.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the CCUA's CU Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah. Thanks so much for watching. Got to make sure you're registered for our convention. Have you registered? I've been talking about this for quite some time now, and it's coming up. We have a virtual annual meeting and a virtual convention planned for you this year. So you're on the website right now, ccua.org, but I ask that all of you get registered and get in there early, because this is going to be one you don't want to miss. Also, make sure you watch all the episodes of CU Marketplace Monday right here on ccua.org, because I hide different clues in each of the show. We're doing our CU Marketplace Monday mystery game. And remember, if you get all the clues, you turn those in, you get the phrase that all those clues are towards something. There's a phrase, maybe a word. If you get that right, you're entered into a drawing to win $2,000 in cash. All right, we've got another great guest, an awesome vendor, a new partner of the CCUA actually joining us on the line here. Naveen Jain, the CEO of CU Lytics. You're a new CU Connect vendor with the Cooperative Credit Union Association. Naveen, thanks for coming on Marketplace Monday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Now tell me, where are you right now in the world?
I am in San Jose, California.
San Jose. How are things out in California these days?
I think this week has been wonderful. I think the weather is kind of becoming a little more on the cold side, but it is awesome. Last few weeks, on the other hand, had been a little tough, especially with all the fires going on around us. But I think things are coming down back to the new normal that we talked.
Good. Now you've been working from home for a few months now. How has that been for your business?
I think it is wonderful. Actually, we have been able to connect with our credit union partners. Actually, the most important thing is that we hosted our fifth CU Lytics Summit virtually from home, and we had over 450 people who registered. They represented about 35% of the credit union industry by asset size. So it was a fantastic show, and we all connected from home, and it worked out well.
Good. I think that's the best part about what's happening these days is that we've all figured out as credit unions or as vendors of credit unions how to pivot and do things virtually. And this is the time we have to do it. We have to do video calls, and we can't be all together just yet. So I'm really happy to hear that. We're talking with Naveen Jain. He's the CEO of CUlytics. He's a new CU Connect vendor with the CCUA. Talk about, you just mentioned your 5th summit. So give me a little background of where this summit came from and how you got to 5 years and how it's so successful.
Sure, absolutely. So I have been a technologist my entire life. And for the first 25 years in my career, it had nothing to do with credit unions or banks or anything. I was in hardcore high tech. And then I found myself as a VP of data analytics at First Tech Credit Union. First Tech is one of the larger credit unions. They are based, headquartered, or corporate office is based here in San Jose. And they were about 7.5 billion at that point. They hired me as a one-man army to help them get started on their data analytics journey. And it was wonderful. We put together a vision, a strategy, business cases, made a lot of investments. And the most important thing is that we aligned with the key business functions and we showed value that the data can bring to them along the way. We had engagements with finance teams, retail teams, call center, digital, and so on. It was fantastic. By the time I left in 2018, I had a team of 15 people responsible for data integration, management, data governance, data science, and so on. But the more important thing is that this journey by itself was so interesting, and I met hundreds of very enthusiastic and passionate credit union leaders. In my first and second year at First Tech, I used to go to different events like Tableau, Salesforce, TDWI, and so on. And I used to look out for my peers in the industry, trying to see what I can learn from them. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, is it something that I can learn from them and bring back that expertise, bring back the knowledge back to First Tech so that we can be better in whatever we are doing. And every time when I will meet those folks, I would see two things. One is they're very, very open and transparent. It was really nice to connect with them. And also our conversations invariably will turn towards that, you know what, even though we are coming to this event, but 90-95% of the content or attendees are not relevant to the challenges that we are facing on a day-to-day basis at our work. And how nice it would be to have an event just for us, where we are able to come together, where we are able to share our learnings, knowing there is no sales pressure, knowing that we are in this together, and how we can basically learn and uplift or mature our entire organization and the industry on the data analytics practices. So First Tech was very supportive of this idea. We hosted our first summit in 2016 at Microsoft office right over here in Mountain View. And we were expecting maybe like 20 people, 30 people. We were pleasantly surprised when more than 100 people signed up. And people loved the fact that this was a different type of event. This was not an event where we had vendors on the stage talking about their products or showcasing their demos. We were here, people, practitioners, talking about real challenges, talking about real solutions, real learnings, real failures. And that is what people loved. People realized that when they come to an event like this, they can take all that learning and apply it back to that workplace almost right away. And we got more than 100 people signed up. So we did it again in 17, and we had more than 250 people signed up. So this is also the time when people started asking for more. I think this is where data digital was becoming the buzzword, day-to-day buzzword, and people started asking for more. They thought that this summit is good, but how about we have an ongoing dose of education through webinars or things like that. So in January of 2018, I parted from First Tech. First Tech was kind enough, gracious enough to let me continue to run the event. And that is how CUlytics was born. So we had a third event in 2018, And just last week, as I was sharing with you earlier, we had our 5th annual CLTX Summit. Of course, given the current situation, it was virtual. We had a record number of registrations this year. We had more than 450 people who registered. The credit unions that they registered, they had presence in all 50 states. Their total asset base represented about 35% of the industry. About 20% of the attendees were C-level, whether it is CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, chief lending officers, retail officers, and so on. And another 38% were directors, VPs, and SVPs. So having that type of profile of the audience was fantastic, because here we were able to come together and we were able to discuss, talk, learn about what are some of the successes that different credit unions, progressive credit unions are seeing in their organization, and what we can learn from them so that we can apply those learnings back in our organization and we all become successful. We had pretty fantastic transformation challenge, fintech showcase challenge. Overall, I think based on the reviews and ratings that we have got from the people, this was an amazing event. We are already planning for our 2021, and people are asking us that maybe we should do both in person and virtual in 2021.
Oh, good. Congratulations. That's amazing. Talking with Naveen Jain, he's the CEO of CUlytics. Great story there on how you built up all of this history of data knowledge and data management that you had. And you go out in the real world and talk to real people. And all the folks watching here right now, you know, it's great that you're on the show, because if people need help with data management, with webinars, with various things, you were talking about workshops before we started this interview, you know, you're a consultative guy with a team that can help people with real problems. And I don't want to watch somebody's pitch all day. I want to come to you and say, this is where it hurts. Help me here. Here's where I've failed. Also, here's where I've succeeded. So tell people where they can get a hold of you. And then we're going to talk about the partnership that you have with CCUA. But some of these decision makers watching now, how do they reach out directly and speak to you?
Sure. I think they can, of course, reach out to me on our website, culytics.com. They can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm actually connected with more than 11,000 people on LinkedIn. I think that I'm almost connected with 70-80% of the industry on LinkedIn.
Great.
So very well connected. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on our website. And one thing which actually really resonated from the last week was one of the CEOs of a credit union. He was talking about how the future of his organization and the industry as a whole is based on becoming a learning organization. And I think when I reflected back on that, actually I loved that what he said. And I think that CUlytics is all about helping you become that, enabling you to be that learning organization, so that you can learn about data analytics around digital marketing and transformation in general, and how you can make better decisions. And I think the important thing is that whatever we do, we are doing it in a very unbiased manner and a vendor agnostic manner. I have had so many vendors reach out to me where we talk about referrals, and they will give us a cut of whatever revenue we bring to them. But we don't have any referral agreements with anyone. Everyone is same. And that's when we are working with you or with the credit union leaders. Whatever we do is aligned with your goals, your objectives, and your values.
Well, that's exactly how people should be doing business. Let's share. Let's talk about what we really need. We don't want to be sold things. We want you to help us with solutions. Naveen Jain is joining us here on Marketplace Monday. He's the CEO of CUlytics. You can find him at culytics.com, or also find Naveen Jain on LinkedIn. I encourage you to connect with Naveen. One of the advantages here, all the folks watching are members of the Cooperative Credit Union Association. Your company, CUlytics, is now a partner with the CCUA. Talk a little bit about the advantage of folks working with you through a partnership with CCUA.
Of course, I think we have a very special relationship with Dean and Melissa at CCUA, and we have a really nice a partnership program for you guys. if you join and become a member of CULITX, and by the way, CULITX membership is available in a very cost-effective manner at an individual levels as well as an organizational level. What it means is that the benefits of the membership in an organizational level can be shared by few people or with anyone and everyone in the organization. And these benefits include access to the summit, access to the live workshops, access to unlimited access to on-demand workshops around various topics. It includes a peer benchmark, which was CU peer benchmark. It has access to the data governance application. And also more important is that it also includes a few expert advice sessions where you can reach out to us as I said, in an unbiased manner. You want to make sure that you have someone who can provide you a sound advice, be a sounding board, and you can reach out to us at any time. All of this is included as part of the membership.
Good. We're talking with Naveen Jain, CEO of CULITX. Find him at culitx.com or follow him on LinkedIn. Definitely somebody you want to communicate with and talk about what you really need. You know, we just really need people that can listen and say, look, you're not going to make up what you think is wrong with me at my credit union level. I need to tell you. I have to be the one to give you that information. So I highly recommend that you chat with Naveen. The membership program you just talked about sounds amazing. There is a great partnership that we have with you at CCUA. So also on the chat feature below the video right now, if people have any questions for Naveen, feel free to log on and ask questions. We will make sure that you are connected. Naveen Jain, CEO of CULITX, culitx.com. Talk a little bit about some of these webinars and workshops that you provide for credit union leaders.
Sure, absolutely. So I think when we think about these webinars, there are a few different flavors of webinars that are there. Webinars are, by the way, they are all educational webinars. There is no sales pitches. So one thing that we try to do both in our events, webinars, workshops is that we don't have sales pitches. Absolutely no. There have been situations where we had to actually pull out some of the things on our agenda because we realized that this is going to be salesy and we don't want any of those. So this is all based on my learning at First Step. So another thing is that when we think about these webinars and workshops, they are around various topics. It can be around data, and we have a series of different topics within the data around data governance, integrations, management, how to use data in specific domains, whether it is lending, whether it is branches, whether it is call center, marketing, finance, and so on. So there are tons of topics around that. These webinars are more just like a typical webinar where there is a presentation and with the audience. And we realized that we need to have something little more than webinars, where we are able to engage the audience in a two-way manner, back and forth manner, and also arm them with appropriate content, templates, worksheets that they can use internally in their organizations. And that's where we developed workshops. Workshops are typically done over multiple weeks. And we, as part of those workshops, we provide worksheets, templates, and things like that so that people can take and apply that learning almost right away. For example, we have a workshop coming up around building a strong onboarding program for your new members. We have another workshop coming up around defining your data analytics vision, strategy, and roadmap. We had another workshop that we just did recently, which was around evaluating your marketing automation solution providers. So each of those workshops enables the credit union leaders to make some critical decisions, have those worksheets, and take them all the way through. Going back to the webinars, we have very recently started hosting another flavor of the webinars. We call it Solutions Demo Day. And this is when we actually invite the vendors or solution providers who are providing solutions in that specific domain. For example, we had a solutions demo day around data analytics. We had another solutions demo day around marketing automation. and we have plans for solution demo days around lending origination systems or channel management and so on. There are tons of topics around that. And what it does for the credit union leaders is, and I have been in your shoes, so I have seen that going through and evaluating each of those vendor solutions is a very challenging task, especially doing an apple-to-apple comparison. Each of the vendors, there is no one right vendor for everyone. Each vendor has their own nuances, whether it is in terms of the integration, whether it is in terms of the usability or implementation or pricing and so on. So these concise solutions demo days provides you a comprehensive information in a very short amount of time, in a matter of 2 to 3 hours, so that by the time you leave these solution demo days, you not only have a good understanding of what these solution providers are providing as part of their solutions, but also what criteria you should consider using when you are making those decisions. So those are a few things that we are trying to do to help credit unions, help organizations take advantage of what is out there available in the market, knowing that whatever decision that they make should be something that is sound and something that they should stand by for a few years. It shouldn't be like they get the solution and then they are not able to implement it, use it, or whatever.
Talking with Naveen Jain, CEO of CU Lytics. He's a new CU Connect vendor with CCUA, so we've got a great partnership with you. Thank you for that partnership and the opportunities. CUlytics.com is where you can learn more. I encourage you, everybody watching, to either ask some questions in the chat and Naveen will get back to you, or visit CUlytics.com or follow Naveen Jain on LinkedIn. Before I let you go, I'm going to have you spin the prize wheel. You want to win some gift cards?
All right.
Hey, we've got a $50 gift card, $25 gift card, or Dunkin' Donuts gift card. I think they've got some Dunkin' Donuts out there on the West Coast. Oh, you've got a free spin. You get it. You get another life, Naveen. Here we go.
All right. I love this thing.
Wow.
Oh, one more
free spin. One more. Wow, we got to get you some money here, D. Here we go. Naveen's going to win this time. Wow. That is 3 in a row. 3 in a row. I think only one other vendor partner had 4 in a row, and you have a $50 Visa gift card.
Wonderful.
Congratulations. This was fun. This was really good. I'm really glad you got to come on the show. Again, Naveen Jain, CEO of CU Lytics. He is a new partner of ours at the CCUA, so make sure you can reach out to Dean directly or any of us at the CCUA, or you can visit CUlytics.com. Naveen Jain, thank you so much for coming on Marketplace Monday. You've got a lot of great products, and I really hope a lot of people get a hold of you and do some work with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I really love our partnership. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And all of you watching, make sure you get registered for our virtual convention. We want more registrants on there now, and we're also looking for more vendors. So make sure you're on the website now, ccua.org. Get registered for our Moving Forward Together virtual annual meeting and virtual convention, which is coming up in a short few weeks. We'll be back after this on Marketplace Monday. Stay with us.
Meet Bob and Sally. Each of them has just chosen a partner to help with vendor management. Let's see how things go. To start off, Sally just took the morning and uploaded all her existing vendor contracts and authorization letters to Maple Street. Then, got back to helping customers. Bob didn't do that. Bob spent 2 days on software training and loading his vendor list instead. Poor Bob. Here, we see Sally having a quick meeting with Maple Street. They've risk ranked all her vendors, so all she has to do is sign off on it and she's off to lunch. Bob didn't do that either. Bob spent all week using the software to risk rank his vendors himself. Poor Bob. Anyway, here's Sally and her team getting trained by Maple Street on recommended procedure updates and best practices for vendor management. And Bob? Yeah, Bob didn't do that either. He spent the last 3 weeks trying to get vendor information and doing all the due diligence reviews himself. Poor Bob. And here's Sally reviewing the final strategic vendor plan where Maple Street has already analyzed their contracts and expenses. They've identified places where she's spending too much, and now she's turning them loose to get that money back right before she heads back out to help customers. And this is Sally sharing the news that Maple Street just reduced their vendor expenses by $600,000. Bob? You still in there, Bob? Never mind. Bob didn't save anything anyway. He did end up compliant, but it sure did cost him. Poor Bob. Don't be Bob. You're making an investment. Shouldn't you get a return? Call Maple Street today.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah. A couple of housekeeping notes. Registration now open for our annual virtual meeting and convention coming up in October. You're on ccua.org right now, so once we're done with this edition of Marketplace Monday, I definitely want you to peruse ccua.org, register for our virtual convention coming up, Moving Forward Together. We also have a number of coronavirus resource pages for all of you credit unions out there, so make sure you peruse those. All right, Marketplace Monday is nothing without awesome guests, and I have a great guest joining me right now, the program director of the Global Women's Leadership Network, GWLN, Lena Giacomopolis. Did I get the name right?
Yes, you did, Isaiah. Thank you so very much. Points.
I'm not going to lie. I was practicing that one.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Jenna, talk to me, Lena, talk to me about what the Global Women Leadership Network is. You're the program director, so talk about GWLN, if you would, Lena.
I will very gladly. GWLN, well, honestly, in one line, I can say it's definitely about a group of passionate people who really want to help advance women in our credit union arena, but more importantly, on a global scale. The program started in 2009, and it began initially as a concept, as a thought from the World Council of Credit Unions and a couple of CEOs that were actually visiting credit unions and cooperatives in South America. And a group of women approached our CEO at that time and said, do we have an initiative that helps women advance in their lives professionally and personally in a safe forum? And I use the word safe that many times we've repeated in our work in the sense of more comfortable, where they could come together, one another, and actually support each other. And that's, in essence, how Global Women's came to be. Fast forward 11 years later, the program has grown tremendously. If I want to share some tremendous numbers, we actually have engaged with more than 3,000 women and men in 82 countries over the last 11 years. So the program tremendously has grown. And we have right now about 120 sister societies in 27 countries. and we keep at it. So I have the pleasure of working with women and men, and I'm going to emphasize our he for she's because we want to work alongside our male partners to actually help advance women. And it's within the credit union system. It is about leadership. It is about personal growth. It is about professional growth. And it is about the bonds that women create and actually have for a lifetime. And through the program, that's what I'm seeing closed in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. We're talking with Lena Giacomopoulos. She is the program director of GWLN, the Global Women Leadership Network. You know, there are so many things that are going on in the world today, Lena. I mean, we've had to change how we do business. We've had to change how we communicate. You know, this pandemic has come along and really words that get overused, pivot is one of them. But it's a good word because you need to pivot. Look at what we're doing here. Our Credit Union Marketplace Monday is now virtual because we were not allowed to gather at the DCU Center. So we still have to get people like you in front of all of our credit union membership leaders. You know, we still want to hear about what's going on at the global network. And how have things changed in your world with this pandemic? I mean, communication alone has to have changed, right?
Yes, definitely. For us, for GWLN, I mean, we have the opportunity to engage with women, women members and male members, but our membership base, U.S. and internationally. And when the pandemic honestly first started, I started reaching out to individual leaders, both in the U.S. and internationally. You received the replies, and the replies were along the same lines of, thanks for thinking of us, we're thinking about you too, stay safe, be healthy. That was it. In the beginning, it was just those small messages of, you know, we're here for each other. As time progressed, though, and as we had to literally pivot our way of conducting business and come to what I call today our new reality, that for us actually has proven to be beneficial for the program because we've had more increased connectivity through our sister societies, which is the mechanism through which our members actually meet locally on a local scale. So you have sister societies in the U.S., all across the U.S., and you have them internationally as well. So we were actually increasing the opportunities for our international and our U.S. members to actually meet because of the virtual capacity and the virtual meetings. So you had women from Brazil joining in sister society meetings from California, and you had women from Uganda joining in sister society meetings from the East Coast. So, and those are just two examples of countries. I've had the pleasure and the many hours of sitting in as many meetings as possible, honestly, the last few months. So, you know, with our Asian partners and our Asian sister societies, just a few days ago, we had one, it was, you know, 10 p.m. my time in my time zone because it was 10 a.m. In Thailand time, their time zone. So we had, you know, 10 Asian countries participate, and we had partners from the U.S. participate as well. And that has happened because of the pandemic. And so our connectivity has just grown, and I hope it continues to do so. And I really hope that more and more virtual meetings will continue wherever we may be 6 months down the line.
Well, that's a very powerful story. We're talking with Giacomopoulos. She's the program director for Global Women Leadership Network. I mean, this virtual world that we're in, we've been in a virtual world for a while, but this sort of push to the forefront virtual world is bringing together some really powerful women and men, as you mentioned, all of our credit unions. I mean, this is how we're communicating now. There'll be a time when we'll be able to get back together for sure, but I agree with you, Lena. I hope that we continue to do things like this. It allows me to talk to you wherever you are. I mean, where are you right now exactly?
Right now, I'm in exotic Madison, Wisconsin, in the middle of the country.
I love it. Exotic. But this is, I mean, we've talked to so many people here on Marketplace Monday from all around the United States, and we've got partners all around the world, and this is the easiest way to do it. And if we get online and we're to the point, we're educational, and then we get offline, it's good. It's valuable. I mean, people can log on when they want. All of our Marketplace Monday episodes actually are stored right on ccua.org, so people can go back and watch all the episodes. Right. You know, we play a thing called the Marketplace Monday Mystery Clue Game. So we give out these clues, and if people can't watch the show Monday morning at 10 a.m., that's okay. You can go back and watch it whenever you want. You meet some really nice people like yourself. You hear from vendors. You can win some prizes. But you can do it at your own, at your own convenience. It's almost like television was so much about, remember it was Thursday night, must-see TV on NBC? Hey, don't tell me I have to be sitting in front of my TV at 8 o'clock on Thursday. I'm doing something else. That's why Netflix is so powerful. That's why Hulu is so powerful, because, I just watched the whole series of Breaking Bad recently, and that came out years ago.
Right.
This virtual thing is not a bad platform as long as it's done the right way. We're talking with Lena Giacomopoulos. She's the program director of Global Women Leadership Network, GWLN. Talk about some of those sister societies you mentioned. You've got some powerful women and men all across the world. Talk about some of these sister societies that you're involved with.
We do. And, that's one of the best things that I've been noticing is that every time, a meeting is coming up or one of the sister societies is that they're diversifying the people that are speaking, that are making the presentations. The concept of the sister society is, like we said, it's the mechanism to convene the members. Usually they would get together, there would be some type of presentation. There would be obviously an update about GWL and what's happening for our program, our work at the World Council and the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions, which is the initiative. Our initiative is under the 501c3, which is the Worldwide Foundation for us. And then there would be the time for the networking aspect of it. That element, the face-to-face, that's one thing that you miss. It's different seeing someone, obviously, on camera, and it's different when you're in the room, sharing a cup of coffee or whatever other lovely beverage you choose to share, right? Okay, but it's very different now because of the virtual, that you're seeing different types of speakers. And because of the pandemic, there has been a focus a lot from sister societies on, your well-being, on mental health issues, on caring for individuals in your home while you are working from home virtually, because it is very different to be working from home and working from home at the same time while you have your full family at home. I've shared the example lots of times with individuals where at one point I have adult children, right? At one point we had 4 individuals in 4 corners of the house, and my son was like, "See you at the coffee station, Mom." And I laughed because that's what it was in essence. Everybody was with a laptop in a certain part of the home. It's very different if your child is 5 years old, if your child is 15, or if your child is 25 and you're working from home, right? So some of the women are faced with that. So a lot of the meetings were focused on wellness and well-being. A lot were focused on actually how do you manage your household while at the same time managing your workload, right? So we've had a lot of those type of topics. At the same time, you have your professional speakers speaking. And when I say professional, I mean from within the industry, the professionals speaking and talking about how leadership is important in my credit union or in my system, or how do I help advance women within my network, or how it is important to be part of the whole DEI. And I'm not going to say network or initiative because it should be a part of business. It should be standard. It is not a thing that has just come along now all of a sudden. It has always been part of our business, and it should always continue to be. So there are a lot of different topics and areas that the different sister societies are meeting upon. The one big difference that I see is that we have the luxury in the United States to have the resources for most of us to be able to work from home remotely, easily, with some type of technology and some type of device. In some of the countries that we are in or are present in, these individuals do not have these resources. So the women from Malawi, because we have a very active sister society in Malawi, a lot of our African nations are actually quite active. They don't all have a laptop to work from home virtually. And they had to literally be home when the pandemic started, losing income and not working, as many individuals in the US as well. So you're seeing that big difference too. So these topics are also topics that we're talking about.
Good. No, listen, you're covering a litany of very powerful, this is good. And I was going to ask, talking with Lena Giacomopoulos, she's the program director for GWLN. How do people get a hold of you and learn more about the Global Women Leadership Network, Lena?
Well, first and foremost, the easiest and fastest way is obviously go to the website, which is cuwomen.org, and they can find us there. They can find my contact information there. Obviously, unless they all have a quick way of writing my very short last name in one, it's ejakomopoulos@woku.org, but easily through you as well. But I would say the website first and foremost. And I think one of the best ways to get a glimpse and a taste of what we're doing apart from the website, because we have activities and events all around the year. We have a lot of our activities happen at our annual conference that we host each year, that the World Council does. This year, we were scheduled to be in Los Angeles jointly having a conference with CUNA, and it was canceled, unfortunately, obviously, among many conferences. So hopefully next year, if all goes well, we're inviting all of you and your listeners to join us at 2021 WCUC in Glasgow, Scotland. So I hope to see you there, Isaiah.
Ooh, Okay, you've got my attention. I'll go to Scotland, absolutely.
Yeah, for you guys, it's just one plane ride on the East Coast, right? So it's easy. Our annual conference floats around the globe. Each year we host it in July, and it really is an amazing event because you have credit union professionals from all around the globe, literally coming together, sharing, learning, joining, and it's just an amazing event. Last year we were in the Bahamas. The year before we were in Singapore, and you always have about 55 to 60 nations attending. So there is that, diversity. It's just amazing, the conference. And we have a lot of activities for GWLN at the conference, but also throughout the year as well. So coming back to my initial thought, I was going to go to the social. Apart from the website, obviously, the social media pages are a great way to see, what is happening. A lot of our sister societies are sharing photos, are sharing posts of what they're doing in their respective areas. So you can see what's happening in Asia and Africa, Europe, US, Canada, all of it.
As far as the GWLN on social media, what are the various handles? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. How can people find you?
Yeah, on the Facebook, we have an open group page on Facebook, GWLN, and you'll find it under World Council GWLN, I believe. We have a Twitter page as well, and we have a closed LinkedIn group page, actually.
Great. Listen, you've got
those directly from the site.
Good. You can definitely go to cuwomen.org. We're talking with Lena Giacomopoulou, the program director for GWLN. You've got a lot of great things going on. And listen, Scotland, I could be talked into that.
Okay, good. Then maybe we can actually meet in person, right?
I think that's a good thing. We'll start with a video introduction, and then we'll roll over to Scotland. I'll bring my golf clubs. We'll play some golf. Everything will be fun.
There you go. Golfing. You touched upon our fundraiser this year.
Good. Well, listen, Lena, thanks so much for being on the show. Program Director of GWLN. Visit cuwomen.org. All the information is there. You guys are doing some really powerful things. I love the positivity you see in this virtual platform that we're on. It's a great way to bring people together. Thanks for bringing your knowledge and your positive energy to our CU Marketplace Monday, Lena. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Good luck with the rest of the CU Marketplace sessions. I look forward to seeing it and meeting all of you up close.
I can't let you leave without spinning the prize wheel, though. We have $50 gift cards, $25 gift cards, and Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. You want to win some? You want to win a prize here, Lena?
Sure, why not? We'll
here we go.
One of our members.
Having a little fun on a Monday, right? Ooh, look at that. You just won a $50 Visa gift card.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We'll put that towards coffee the next time we meet. How about that?
We'll put that towards purchasing pink items for you and sending them your way. How's that? Towards the program.
Done and done. Lena Giacomopoulou, Program Director for GWLN. Visit cuwomen.org. Lena, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Isaiah. Be well, be safe, be healthy.
You do the same. Thanks so much. All right, we've got more CU Marketplace Monday coming up. Don't forget, registration is open now for our virtual convention, which is coming up in October. All the details on the website you're on right now, ccua.org. Check that out, and you'll get all the details on how you can register and what we have planned for you. Moving forward together is the theme of this year's virtual convention. This is the Road to Convention, CU Marketplace Monday. We'll be back right after this.
CU Women stand for financial inclusion and an equal voice.
For me, the Global Women's Leadership Network means sisterhood and strong bonds.
Solidarity. Finding a new purpose.
Leadership. Learning. I love to be part.
Good news!
Most of them are shy to come up to air out their views. So I said, this is my opportunity now to advance women in circles within Malawi in leadership positions.
We have organized 25 sister societies. That is the local chapter of the Global Women's Leadership Network in 6 countries. It has more than 1,500 members.
It's also about the networking. These meetings provide a great framework for mentorship and networking.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah. We're just about to wrap up our Marketplace Monday series, Road to Convention. I do have one more tip, though, one more clue for the mystery clue game. Hopefully, you've gathered up all these clues. The final clue is 03102. 03102 is the final clue for Marketplace Monday's mystery clue game. Now, if you've gathered up all the clues, I want you to send your guess to info@ccua.org. Info, I-N-F-O, at ccua.org. And everybody that gets the mystery clue, word, phrase, whatever it is, you'll go into a drawing and one person will win $2,000 in cash. Thanks for playing along. If you're missing any of those clues, you can watch the episodes right here on ccua.org. I want to thank all of our guests that came on over the past 9 weeks, all of our vendors. I want to thank all of our keynote speakers. Definitely want to thank our charities, all 4 of the fine charities that we support in the 4 states of the Cooperative Credit Union Association, our friends at Special Olympics in Rhode Island, our friends at Boys and Girls Clubs in Delaware, our friends at Make-A-Wish in New Hampshire, and our friends at the Coalition for the Homeless for Build-A-Bed in Massachusetts. Thanks so much to CUNA Mutual Group, our title sponsor. Thanks to all of our sponsors, all of our credit unions that watched, all of you that watched. It was a lot of fun. We've got some really cool things coming up with conventions, so make sure you are registered. I've been working on some projects with the whole team at CCUA, and this year's convention, moving forward together, it's going to be a good one. Great speakers. We've got a lot of cool things coming up, so make sure you get registered for that. Again, thank you. My name's Isaiah. It's been a pleasure and an honor to host Marketplace Monday. We will see you soon. Have a great week.